Did a lot of work there. You wouldn't even believe how much work I did. You don't seem like it, but this place was a total wreck.
A few months ago, while walking through a small suburban town, I noticed some shopping carts full of cans in a vacant lot and decided to explore. I made my way down a path at the back of the lot and saw 2 decaying Avis trucks emerge from the undergrowth. As the path wound around to the front of the trucks, I discovered that they were someone's house. That's when I met Joe, the man who lives here and made these box trucks his home.
How'd you find out about this place?
This?
Yeah.
Well, just going through, passing by. I thought they knocked these down. They took the buildings that were down here. It used to be a lumber yard. They took all the buildings down about 3 years ago. So when I was looking for a spot so I could store my stuff, and I found these box trucks are still here. It was weird. So I said, well, I was going to put my stuff inside in my bags. I said, you know what, Joe, just move in. That's what I did, moved in.
Joe built a facade for the truck and turned it into a small studio apartment, complete with furniture, a wood stove, and a small solar generator for electricity. Looking at his house from the front, it's hard to believe it's part of an old moving truck.
How'd you get all this stuff here?
Friends, put it in my cart, whatever worked.
Folks gave it to you, or did you find it on the street, or?
Yeah, I bought some of it, you know.
Nice.
You know, people gave me stuff, whatever. I do work with it. I help them out. They help me out, you know.
You cook all your food and everything out here?
I got a barbecue right there. I got the stove. You seen the stove in there, right?
Yeah.
I cook on that too.
Where'd you get that from?
I found it on the corner.
Really?
Really. I asked one of my friends to help me. I said, I couldn't do for myself.
Yeah, that sucker's got to be heavy.
Heavy, real heavy. Oh, yeah, so I got it, though. Oh, it's a blessing.
Wow. Yeah, man. Nice.
Joe put some insulation in the walls of the truck to hold the heat from the stove during the winter months. He created a cozy little spot for himself in this small patch of woods.
Where were you living before this?
I was living in the Salvation Army for a while on the ramp. Lived there for 3 years.
Oh, wow, okay.
There's a little overhang. It's not blocked in or nothing. Only on one side.
How'd you wind up living outside to begin with?
My mom passed away. I was living with my mom.
How long were you with her for?
Well, a long time, pretty much. Me, my mom, my father. My father passed away, and I was staying with my mom, and after that, well, I was on my own. On my own.
How long has that been now?
I'm going to say 5 years. Could be longer. I'm figuring at least 5.
And so now you've been here, what, 4 years, you said?
Yeah.
Nobody bothers you here?
Well, nobody bothered me except when I wrecked my camp like twice already.
Well, what did they do to wreck it?
They took all my stuff, threw all my stuff in the yard. They took my futon and the mattress I had, they threw it in the creek. They broke my fence. I had to redo it. And I saw it all over. Rebuilt the fence. They took that whole front of the building off. I had to put it all back up. It was getting cold too. It was like, oh, really?
How long ago did they do that?
Last year.
Oh, wow.
Thankfully, Joe's home has been left alone for the past year, except for some minor annoyances by his neighbors across the train tracks.
So I was having a barbecue one day, and they called the cops on me. So he said, Joe, I can't give you a ticket because you're just only having a barbecue. Yeah, they called the cops on everything.
A couple of weeks ago, Joe let me come along while he earned some money.
You heading out?
Yeah, I'm going to buy a can run.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm going up that way. I'm just
All right.
here just in this thing. Some days are better than others. I'm gonna get something.
Is this a fairly reliable way to make money for you?
Pretty much. What else would I have if I didn't have this? I would have to rob your house. Now I'm not kidding about robbing.
No, I know.
In addition to collecting cans, from time to time Joe also earns money by mowing lawns, cutting trees, and other odd jobs for people in town. He told me he used to have a painting business, which sadly went under.
How much you usually make in a day, you think?
I asked you what they call it. It could be 10, it could be 15, it could be whatever. It could be 30, it could be 50.
While we were walking, Joe told me someone stopped by his place a few weeks earlier and gave him a notice to vacate.
Someone came and physically handed you a paper.
Yeah, it says you got 30 days. No.
When we got back to his house, I asked him more about it.
These are both the same. I don't know why they hand me two for.
Who was it that gave you the notice?
I don't know.
No?
No, I'm just waiting for the sheriff to come to hand me a note to go to court. After that, I'll find out what's going on after that.
A notice to vacate is the first step in the eviction process and is delivered before the court proceedings begin.
It's just like if you didn't pay your rent, people just can't go in your house and throw your stuff on the street unless you see the judge first. I might look stupid, but I'm not really stupid.
How long ago did they hand you that notice?
About 3 weeks ago.
Oh, so your 30 days is coming close.
Matter of fact, they gave me the first and last month, so I got a couple more days left.
Oh, yeah?
Once Joe gets a court notice, he plans to contact legal aid to try to stay where he is. He also wants to call the local newspaper to bring attention to his situation.
So, and why do you think they want to kick you guys out of here? You're not bothering nobody.
I don't have no idea.
In 2013, the city where Joe lives approved plans for a greenway and heritage trail, which already has several completed sections. The trail will extend along the creek, which is about 30 feet behind Joe's house.
The bike trail is what? It's going to be what? 5 feet, 6 feet, whatever it is, right? So this is not in nobody's way right here. What, they're going to come right through here and make a trail right through where my box trucks are?
What do you think, where do you think you'll go if they wind up trying to force you guys out?
Oh, I don't know yet.
At this time, Joe hasn't heard anything more about the notice to vacate. Given the city's plans to build trails, it's almost certain he will have to move. I think the best Joe can hope for is to stay until spring so he doesn't have to live outside in the winter. If you want updates on Joe's situation, hit the subscribe button, or head over to my website where you could sign up for my newsletter and see some of my other projects.